Now it's time for some New York Mets baseball talk. Here's Gary Mack bringing you the latest news and analysis from Mets Nation and the world of baseball on another edition of MetsMusings.
And hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Mets Musings number 399. I got to tell you, there's not a lot of stuff to talk about. You know the stuff that's going on. The owners have come up with a plan. They're taking it to the Players Association. There's been a lot of back and forth already. A lot of the players are not happy with it. Blake Snell apparently was not happy with it, was quite against it, said he won't play. He wants his. He's not going to play for a quarter of the amount of a paycheck that he should be getting. Sure, don't play for a quarter, but you're only playing a half a season. So you got to make some sort of concession here, my friend. And, you know, by somebody like Blake Snell and Bryce Harper backing him up, somebody like that coming out, they really tie their own hands. And they tie their own hands because that's why you have a union. Your union is supposed to negotiate. Let your union do the negotiation. Now what happens is you shut your mouth off, and now the fans are all ticked off at you and making the players look greedy. And look, we're all concerned about health and all of this, but, you know, they've got it pretty well covered. MLB has a plan. They hooked up with a lab, the lab that does the steroid testing for them. They are hooked up with them, and they are going to be doing the COVID-19 testing. They also have I believe it's 67 pages of priorities and of, how they're going to work this whole thing. So they went in with guns loaded. Scott Boras told everybody to just deny this request by Major League Baseball. Just turn it down. Don't play. The owners want money back. And, you know, are the owners being greedy? Sure. Are the players being greedy? Sure. But the owners are putting up the money. They're really not getting income back. The TV money has been cut. There's not going to be anybody in the stands, so there's no revenue from tickets or parking or concessions. So, you know, the players have to realize something here. They're going to have to give a concession. And if they don't play, then that's fine. If they want to sit out, they can sit out. But you know what? I don't think they should get credit for time then if they sit out the year. And I don't think they should get paid by their contract. That should null and void any contract for any player that wants to sit out. Could we have a lot of free agents? We could have a lot of big-time free agents. But I don't think you're going to see a lot of big-time payments for free agents next year if baseball comes back then. No, I don't think so. Because what are you going to base it on? You know, is Mookie Betts going to get $300 million with a year off and another year older? Maybe in his category, maybe. But is a Rick Porcello going to get that? Is a Michael Walker going to get that? Are they going to get offers even? They're going to get 1 year offers. And I think a lot of the free agents that if they get time credit and become free agents next year, that's what they're going to get. They're going to get 1 year offers to prove themselves again. This was their proving year. And if it goes away because of this virus and their obstinance to play, and look, they're using they're going by saying it's a health thing, and we all get that. But, look at the science and look at the data, and the data disproves their theories. They're young and they're healthy, and the virus doesn't really affect those. Yes, you can get it, but nobody's dying in that age range unless there's a pre-existing condition. Now, if they're tested and they have a pre-existing condition that they don't want to play, then that's fine. That's understandable. But to blanketly say, I'm not going to play because of safety features, and then, Major League Baseball was kind of smart in this because and I hate to say that, but they were, because they came out with this 67-page document, and it lays out everything, and it kind of takes the argument out of the Players Association. But as we go on day by day, I'm beginning to believe that we're not going to have a season at all. I'm almost hoping there's no season, because I think this is going... They may have been better off just canceling it. This negotiation, or whatever you want to call it, is going to leave a bad taste in everybody's mouth. It already has now with the money thing. I don't think they understand that when they talk about money and, and 33 million people are out of work, that argument doesn't go. If a guy ends up making $1 million or $2 million a year and he was supposed to make $7 million, people aren't going to feel sorry for him. There's nobody's upset about that because he lost some money, to be honest with you. Because they lost their livelihood and they're not making that kind of money to begin with. Okay, so he only made $600,000 last year. I'm talking like a Blake Snell. He was due to get 7.6 this year. So he would be getting they want to do a 50-50. I don't know. I'm not good on that kind of stuff. The numbers gets me crazy numbers, and so I don't know what he'd get, but let's say he gets $1 million, $1.5 million or something. Well, suck it up for a year. At least you got a contract. What if that contract went away? Then what would you do? These guys have got to learn. They have to. This was such such out of the blue thing that was so crazy that nobody ever expected to happen, that you have to make some sort of concession somewhere. And it doesn't seem like they're willing to do that. So we'll see how all this is all going to play out. They're still in the process of negotiations, but we have a CBA coming up in a couple of years, and that's going to be messy too. And that's the baseball news. There's not a lot of Mets talk out there. A couple of things we'll get to after a break, but not a lot to do. So we'll be talking Mets here in Mets Musings, and but we're going to probably talk more straight baseball too, if there's anything to talk about, even with baseball, because that too everything is shut down. So I hope you're all doing okay during this quarantine, whatever you want to call it, stay at home period, catching up with your family, catching up with your house, work, whatever it is. But I hope everybody's fine and healthy and nobody got the dreaded virus, and you stay with us, and I hope you'll stay with us. A lot of people joining the podcast ranks. We'll talk about that too in a minute. But let's take a quick break and be back after, let's see, after this.
Hey, baseball fans and book fans as well. This is Frank Nappi, author of the Legend of Mickey Tussler series, inviting all of you to learn more about my protagonist, Mickey Tussler, an incredible pitching prodigy who has autism. Follow Mickey's journey as he captures the hearts of fans everywhere with his blazing fastball and indomitable spirit. Please visit Amazon or www.franknappy.com for more information.
Hi, this is the world-famous Mr. Brewtown of BrewtownSports.podomatic.com. You know, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Google+. Brewtown Sports. You can also listen to the show at Stitcher.com, TuneIn.com, and iTunes.com. And we've got the new one. It's called BrewtownRadio.weebly.com. But the one that I'm most proud of being on is BaseballPodcast.net. It is the home of great baseball talk shows. Check it out, my show and all kinds of other programs all about Major League Baseball. So check it out. That's baseballpodcast.net, the home for great baseball talk shows.
516-619-6341. That is the comment voicemail hotline if you'd like to be a part of the show, and drop us a line, leave us a comment or a voicemail question, anything at all. Call that number 516-619-6341, or go to MetsMusings.com and click on that widget in the middle of the screen, and that's a speak pipe, and you can leave a voicemail right through your computer through your computer's microphone. Or if you prefer to do things the old-fashioned way, send us an email at metsmusings@gmail.com. The Facebook page is facebook.com/groups/MetsMusings, and the Twitter handle is at MetsMusings1. And if you'd like to help out the show, check out our Patreon page. Check out the campaign at patreon.com/MetsMusings. All right, we're back. And have you noticed, I'm sure you have, that there's been a lot of podcasts added, a lot of Mets podcasts, a lot of unofficial, official podcasts. You know, Wayne Randazzo's got a couple now, and some of these other guys have it. And I guess they're doing okay. I know my numbers went down a little bit, so I hope that you'll remember the independent guy. When these guys get involved, the professionals, it kind of hurts us independent guys because, well, they have access, and we have to work hard to get access, and we can't always get access, and so it's easier for them to get guests. I don't have Keith Hernandez's phone number or Gary Cohen's, and to get him on, or now even players are doing podcasts. So, but I hope you'll keep that in mind and listen to us for a different perspective, if you will. And some of the guests we work hard to try to get to bring to you. So I hope you'll remember us. And I just wonder, once the baseball season starts again, how many of these guys will stick around and do this. But I'll tell you, Mets Musings will be there. And we have an anniversary show coming up. The next show will be our 400th. So that will be a big anniversary for the show. And 10 years we've been doing this, so I hope you have enjoyed it, and thank you those that have stuck by for the 10 years and have joined us throughout the 10 years. of doing Mets music. I have to shake my head sometimes. It seems unbelievable that I'm doing this for 10 years, but it's been a blast, and I hope to continue to do it for another 10 years or so. We'll see. I'm getting up there in age, but still love to talk about the game of baseball. All right, let's send some prayers out, if you will, to Art Howe, the former Mets manager. He is fighting the COVID-19 coronavirus. He is in intensive care in Houston, Texas. He's got the virus. He's fighting, but apparently he was talking and things, so he's not on a ventilator. I guess they have him in ICU for quarantine purposes. But let's say a prayer for former Mets manager Art Howe for that he gets better and recovers strongly from this disease. Now, one of the things that, as you notice, we are back in the old studio, and I have to try to work things out. One of the things I have to get is this microphone situated right. It's a little noisy and a little loose, so we have to try to get it into the right position. But anyway, please excuse that. I'll work on that for the next episode. But anyways, let's talk a little bit about something that was in the plan that everybody was excited about, and that was that the universal DH was going to be for this year. And I shouldn't say people were excited about it. I'm not excited about it. I hate the idea because my feeling is this. Once it gets in, it's not going to leave. And they are going to use this Major League Baseball to sneak this in on a one-year experiment, and then it could go next year and continue on as another year experiment or whatever. Now, most fans seem to think it's going to help the Mets. But there was an interesting statistical study, if you will, done by one of the websites, and I forget, please forgive me, I think it was Mets Rewind, but I cannot swear to it, that did a analysis using analytics, which is another thing I don't like, but they used analytics and ran everything, all the teams, and the Mets actually came up being last place in using the statistics, WAR, and all of that kind of stuff. And for the DH, I guess they ran all the National League teams, and the way it came out between the different players they may use and what they would lose in the field and whatnot, it did not come out good for the Mets. So I'm just throwing that out there. People who think it's a good thing the Mets are going to, be in good shape with Cespedes, and it would help Cespedes, but does it hurt the Mets then in the field? At this point, we don't know. Same thing with J.D. Davis. It won't hurt completely in the field because he's not that good a fielder, but will it hurt them somewhere else? It hurts the bench then. If Alonso's the DH and you put Smith in, you lose something in the starting lineup in the field. You have to look for the article to see because they know how to explain it a lot better than I am. Just trying to bring it out to you that, you know what, the DH isn't the end-all, be-all, and it isn't the greatest thing that happens in sliced bread, and it's a vein to the game, and it annoys the heck out of me. But people want it, and apparently they're going to get their wish, and isn't that a shame? But anyway, that's what I have to say about that. So, it's gonna, once something comes like that, it very rarely leaves. And I think they're using this. They found the perfect opportunity to slip it in and they're going to keep it slipped in, I believe. And I guess we're just going to have to live with it. It's annoying and not what we would like, but it's almost sad in a way that if it does come in and then it stays in this way, that it just seems sleazy the way they brought it in. I don't know. We'll see. I'm rambling now, like I did last week in that video. If you happen to see it of MetsMusings, let me know what you think about that. I don't know. I go back, I watch it, and I'm going, what the heck were you thinking? But, I put it out there. I thought it was a little bit entertaining. Maybe parts of it were entertaining. I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope you enjoy this show, too. And, next week we're going to have a guest on for our 400th episode. I think you'll enjoy him. We're going to tape the interview earlier in the week, but he'll be on. I'm not going to say who he is, but you know him. He's been on the show numerous times, and he's an author and a good friend, and really can't wait to talk to him again. And I think that's going to cover it all. That's going to wrap it up, I think. I'm sure I missed something, but the whole idea is just to say hi, to get out there and let everybody, let everybody know I'm here, I'm healthy, I'm alive, and I'm doing MetsMusings, and we'll continue to do it. And let's hope baseball comes. I mean, I'm hoping, but I don't think it's going to happen, and I'm almost getting to the point that if these negotiations can be done quietly and with a canceled season, I'd rather see that than to see this open warfare in the press and give baseball a bad name and leave a bad taste in everybody's mouth. So, but it's what they've chosen to do, and we'll see. But the players really, you hired a union. You have a union. You hired people to run it. Let them negotiate. I mean, really, Blake Snell, you really sounded like a moron. There's no two ways about it. And, Harper's chiming in and saying, and look, we all understand the fear factor. You don't want to bring this home to your families and all of that. But I think baseball answered that with such a comprehensive report that it just makes the players look greedy, and it hurts the game, and that's the thing. Maybe if he didn't say anything in the negotiations, there doesn't really seem to be nothing bad coming out of negotiations. They said they don't want it, and Boris has got to keep his mouth shut too. I mean, come on, this is your gravy train here. If it ever dried up, what would you do you'd have to go back to humping, chasing ambulances or whatever you did as a lawyer. I don't understand these guys. I think they just get greedier and greedier, and look, the owners are no better. I get it. They're greedy too. They're trying to hold their money on. But, they're the ones that put the money up in the first place. The players don't buy the team. The union didn't buy a team or any teams. It's the owners. The owners buy a team. They put their money up there, and they say, I want to own a baseball team. And with that, they could lose it. It's like any other business. But please remember that it is that they put their hard-earned money in the first place. And all the players do is collect a check. And a rather large check and a rather lovely check compared to the rest of us. So please keep that in mind. All right, I don't want to keep you too much longer, so I'm going to say that's going to do it for this week's episode, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I want to thank you for listening. And I don't have my cue card here. I usually have a cue card with a little ending on it so we know what we're saying. But suffice it to say, thank you all for listening for 10 years and Mets Musings and 399 episodes. And I hope you'll continue on with 400 plus. And what do I say? Keep the faith. Stay optimistic. And let's go Mets. And I'll see you next time on another edition of Mets Music.